Beach bid clean team report. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Eleni Polikoff. I'm with Chrysalis and the contract manager for the clean team here in Venice, and this is Paul Williams, our clean team supervisor. I'll just start off with some numbers and I'll hand it over to Paul. Just as an update, in the last 3 months since last meeting, we've picked up 3,883 bags and 1,218 graffiti tags, along with 139 pressure washing hours. I will note that our hours were slightly reduced this winter because we've had some natural pressure washing with all the rain, so that's been of benefit to the bid and looking very sparkly and clean. And with that, I will hand it over to Paul.
Hello, well, first of all, just to address a couple of items that I've heard with the topping of trash cans. The trash cans that are in question are only the square ones that the city has to pick up with a truck and dump. They don't have individual liners or capacity for bags. If people move those cans, which they do a lot, scooter people, business owners move them, if they're back too far away from the curb, the trucks sometimes, the driver is not going to get out. They're going to pull up. If they can't get the can, it's just there. What happens is between tourists and business owners, some of those cans get stuffed with items. And what will end up happening is with all, especially on the Pacific and Windward area, with the thousands and thousands of people coming and going, and they're putting stuff in the cans, and it ends up just, you know, a mess on the street with food and people put stuff there. So what we like to do is come along and at least safely, because I don't know what's in there, we don't have big protective gloves, we just have the latex glove, is to take enough of the trash out and clean around them to where the trash can is still able to be used by people that walk by. And of course we put them back in position so the next morning when the truck does come, they can come. And that's generally all we do when it comes to topping. Any other trash cans that we deal with, like on the boardwalk or any other areas, they'll have a liner in them or they'll have a bag in them, and those we usually just pull and take care of. And it's just it's not I don't see those guys every day going to all of the ancillary areas. They will come down Windward, you know, and up around Windward in that area and get the major ones. Some of the ones on the little fringes, you know, maybe not every day. So that's just an aesthetic thing, just to keep it clean for people, residents, business owners, tourists, and it's just also just, you know, for hygiene. We just don't want, you know, it just doesn't look good visually, or is it healthy to just have a lot of the cups with the juices and the mixes and the food and stuff out there. So that's all we do with when it comes to those right there.
For those who don't know this, we have a lot of the hinge top cans in our district. You've probably seen them sometimes on their hinges. Those don't take liners. So the city has a mechanized truck that lifts them and dumps them. So when those start to overflow, yes, we do take the top off the trash because that's what we're able to do to keep them from overflowing, especially if the city perhaps has missed a pickup. And then we also do, if we're able to, if it's not too heavy, we try to put the can back in position so it should get picked up the next time. So that's why you might see our workers taking the top off the can. Those receptacles just don't accept a liner, and they're very heavy.
If the area has a history of overflowing cans, it's busy like that, why don't they put more cans there?
I'm going to cover that in my report. That's coming up. Great question.
Yes. And when it comes to, you know, people indulging in narcotics or drugs, that's, you know, of course something that, you know, I have no reason, but the effect of it, the trash of it, the residual of it, what we do as the clean team is if we ever find anything that's like a syringe or drug paraphernalia, you know, it's called in so our dispatch can keep a record of which worker, where did we find it, and we'll pick it up to dispose of it safely in the Sharps containers. I'm real big on that because you just never know with we have a lot of pet owners and dogs running around. We have a lot of people with children, a lot of people barefoot, they're out here. You know what I mean? So we are always going to address it because you just never know that somebody might hit it and stop it. We do pay extra attention because like I say, it's a safe team, can't enforce anything, and you know, we're not trying to be intrusive on people, whether they're unhoused or whether it's, you know, anybody. We're not trying to be intrusive. You know, my thing, and I'm getting a general respect from the people out here in Venice is, you know, when it's time to clean, you know, and I'll let people know, I'm not telling you to move, I'm not telling you to go somewhere else. What I'm asking you is if you can move and allow me to clean this area right here. You know, let me sanitize this. It's dirty, it's unhygienic. I'm gonna clean it. When I wrap the pressure washer hose up and drive away, it's not, to me, I don't, you know, if you're right there and you wanna move back, you can move back. And generally that's what the safe team will do when they're with us. If it's not just ADA compliance, if you ever see us out there and there's a big crowd and vehicles with lights on, it's generally because there's been a major complaint and we're just trying to clean up. You know what I mean? We're not trying to displace, I'm not trying to take your stuff, it's, you know.
Now I have a question.
What is your procedure for open drinking and open drug use? I mean, is there a procedure? Because I see people doing that and there doesn't seem to be any consequence.
I mean, all we can do
Yeah,
is,
that'd be a
yeah,
Safety question.
yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Would you like to answer that, when, after it comes on? Because it's something that we would be addressing.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Since your issue is ADA compliance, what about all the illegal planters around Venice? Are you enforcing that? And the illegal furniture? But you can't say that we might see a group of service vehicles of various departments for ADA compliance when we all know, I mean, we're not stupid, we all know that even some of these property owners have commercial property on the sidewalk, it's unpermitted, it's blocking access, these are public right-of-ways, and an issue is uneven enforcement. And there's plenty of planters all over Venice popping up. They're not permitted and they're not ADA compliant. So I'm asking, if it's in your area, are you going to respond to those people and tell them this isn't ADA compliant, it needs to move? There's one right here on Hampton.
So let me respond to that and say, bid is not involved with the placement of any of those planters or the maintenance associated with those. So none of those planters are from the bid or affiliated with the bid.
I understand that,
Okay,
Tori.
let me answer your question, please, first. It is my understanding that the city is aware of all of those planters and that in some instances they are considering enforcement on those, in some instances they appear not to be. That's the best knowledge I have about it. But I think the city is well aware of all of the planters that have sprung up in the area. My understanding is that some of them are probably legal. There's debate over other ones, so.
So my point is, if the response is to ADA compliance and it's about tents on the street, how is that different than planters that block ADA compliance on the sidewalk or commercial furniture? And believe me, it's all over Venice.
The only difference is what falls under our purview and what doesn't.
So if ADA compliance on a public right-of-way is your purview, it should apply to planters and commercial property.
Not all ADA compliance falls under our purview, and we can talk about this more after. But
Okay, that's fine.
And as far as graffiti, I normally don't, you know, take credit, but I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling real good about our graffiti abatement, especially along Oceanfront Walk and the roll-up doors and around the district in general. Unless it's a special case with a business owner having specific kinds of paint, or on a building that we have to make contact to get specific permission. Whether, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but individual graffiti does not last too long in the business improvement district anymore. You know, it's, you know, we give it daily attention, you know, to make sure that all the blight is gone. And that's including trying to get trash cans, dumpsters when we can, parking meter poles. Like they say, they have this problem with the murals. We're more than happy as soon as they get something in place to make sure that we can, you know, do whatever's necessary, you know, to make sure that the murals and the artwork stays graffiti free. And if once they put the process in order, it'd be the same kind of quick attention that I would give to a roll-up door on Ocean Front. If it's there and it's called in and reported, and that's the main thing that people have to realize is a lot of what we do outside of a basic scope of work is generated by our business owners and our business operators and by our residents. The word is starting to get out. Approach a safe or clean team member with an issue, call, use the website. Anything maintenance or clean related is gonna come my way. It's not, okay, let me mark it. We're gonna go and we're gonna assess it and we're gonna try and deal with it. At this point right here, one of the main purposes that the board had was trying to make sure our employees or our workforce was local. And I'm ecstatic that, you know, 85% of our workforce right now is all West Side Orange.